Line, a look at where Canada's housing market actually is today versus the 1990s crash. Runaway housing activity prompted intervention from the last government and has brought out the bears who say that there is a bubble that is just waiting to burst. Meanwhile, Kevin O'Leary has told us that he does not see a major correction in the cards for Canada. He joins us now with his take. Kevin, what is your most current view? We've talked about this a lot, but what is it today?
Well, I'm not a bull on housing in terms of capital appreciation as an asset class, or real estate, or commercial real estate, or buying premium office towers at 3.5 cap, 4 cap. I don't think anybody's going to make any money doing that. But I don't see the 30 to 50% correction that some bears say, and I'll tell you why. If you think about the trend now in Canadian housing, we still have perpetually low rates, so you can still get a mortgage in Canada for under 3%. So if you're inclined to buy, cost of capital is basically zero. So there is a whole demographic of people immigrating and, of course, moving into their 20s and 30s where they need a home. Some elect to rent, others decide to buy. What I'm warning against, and when I talk to a lot of the younger people who work for me, and they're always talking about two things, purchase of a car and purchase of a home. I'm completely against purchasing a house because I don't think 5 years from now it'll be worth a dime more than it is today. And yet you've got to pay real estate taxes. If you buy, you've got to pay transfer taxes on the land. You have to pay the brokers 3 to 5%. Generally, the closing and transaction costs in Canada, this is the most expensive asset class you can trade.
Interesting,
It's going to cost you 8 to 12% to trade the asset. In my world, and this is a personal opinion, the chance that you're going to get 12% appreciation in a home over the next 5 years is zero. So you'd be an idiot to buy a house. You're way better off to rent and keep that capital, should you have any, for the 20 to 30% you have to put down on the down deposit, and put it in the market or in bonds at 4% on corporate investment grade debt. At least you get 4% a year. Housing is a crappy asset to purchase. And in real estate generally, well, I think in this cycle now.
This cycle, and I think that's the important aspect, right? It's where we're at in the cycle right now that's leading you to believe and make those comments, correct?
Well, we've had a 17.5-year bull market.
Right.
Give it a rest. I mean, at the very best, it'll go flat, in my view. The chances that you're going to get material appreciation on a house. And also then you've got, as many pundits have shown, bubbles in all kinds of markets like Vancouver, Montreal, downtown condos now are crazy. Ottawa has the same problem. Toronto. There are so many shoebox condos going up around where you and I are talking.
Right.
There's no sunlight downtown anymore. It's just crappy shoebox condos.
Some people will make the argument that we are a small New York.
Well, but I'm okay with it. I'm just saying.
But no, but therefore that the investment is going to be okay, and that it's not just a shoebox condo, and that shoebox condos actually did work in New York. Like, that's the argument, Kevin. Oh, you're better off to get in now. I don't agree with that, but that's what other people would say.
You know, the millennials that work for me in my various companies, not one of them owns their shoebox condo. Not one of them owns a car either. And the reason they live in the shoebox condos is they can walk to my office. They walk 1 block, in one case half a block. That's what they want. And when they need a car, they Uber it or they rent one. And they're saving a ton of money. And, you know, I asked one of the, leave his name out of it, but I said, how do you like your shoebox condo? He said, one day I kicked open the bathroom door and my foot went through it. I think the quality in the shoebox condos could be questionable.
You've called it correctly. But let me just put one more thing in people's minds, because at the same time, too, Kevin, right, there is still the dream to own a home at some point. So you're not necessarily walking away from that dream. You're just saying, just don't do it right now. Is that accurate?
There is a time to buy asset classes. You know, there was a time for gold when it had a great run. There was a time for real estate, of which we're in the 17th year. That was a great run too. Every kind of real estate, commercial real estate, residential real estate, land on its own, right. Prairie lands were great investments. None of those looks attractive. Your job as an investor is not only to pick stocks, but to pick asset classes. And I argue that real estate, REITs, leverage on real estate, land by itself, it's all crap as an investment. Not as an asset, it's just not going to make you any money.
Right.
So, and I shouldn't say crap, that's, although we are cable, so I guess it's okay.
Well, yeah, you're allowed to.
But I'm saying it's poo-poo. That's what I mean.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this one. What do you think is the next best asset class? That's what you've got to get right always, I think, as an investment. Right.
No, the only asset class I'm putting incremental money of my own dollars in right now is short duration, investment grade corporate debt. The spreads have blown out 75 basis points this year, so I can make about 4.5% on corporate bonds. Over the next year, I'm hoping to pick up 4 or 5% capital appreciation and about 4% yield. So if I'm lucky, I'll make 6 to 8%. Nothing else looks that attractive right now. And I'm talking about being senior to the stock. You know, people say, oh, why are you buying debt? I'm talking about floating rate loans that have 90-day duration.
Right.
And so I'm just rolling money into that, saying I don't have a better idea. And I tell every manager I know, if you've got a better idea, I've got lots of money to put to work. And, you know, I'm holding my highest cash position in 4 years right now.
What kind of percent?
It's about 38.
It's high.
Yeah, it's high, and I need to put it to work by the end of January, so I've got to go to work. I'm looking for asset classes. I rebalance January 31st every year.
All right. Kevin, good to be with you. Thank you.